The Village Round Lake Beach Council meeting for October 17th, 2022 at 7 p.m. Clerk, can we have the roll, please?
Gotta do the pledge.
Trustee Husk. Trustee Valdez. Trustee Davis. Trustee Cleveland.
Here.
Trustee Ibarra. Mayor Stout, Trustee Stout.
Here.
Mayor Nichols.
Here. All right, for the record, show the quorum is present. And if we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, tonight, if we could, approval of the agenda. Anyone have any questions or comments on the agenda? Hearing none, can I have a motion and a second? So moved by Trustee Cleveland,
Second.
second by Trustee Valdez. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Motion will carry. Approval of the special council meeting minutes for September 19th, 2022. Any questions or comments on that? Hearing none, can I have a motion and a second, please? So moved by Trustee Davis,
Second.
second by Trustee Stout. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have that as well. Motion will carry, voice vote. Approval of expenditures for $1,912,255.50. Susan Griffin, if you could.
Sure. This is a pretty sizable warrant this time, specifically due to now paying out on capital projects. Or road checks to Manival Construction for $513,461. And Lake County Sewer, $360,000. That's just a pass-through. That's not really an expense to the village. But nonetheless, it is an amount that goes out every 2 months to Lake County. I'll be glad to answer any questions. Other than that, there's nothing unique in this, I guess is a good way to say it.
We did go over all the expenditures in our committee of the whole meeting. Are there any questions any further? Hearing none, can I have a motion and a second? So moved by Trustee Cleveland, second by Trustee Ibarra, and a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Valdez.
Aye.
Trustee Davis. Trustee Cleveland.
Aye.
Trustee Ibarra.
Aye.
Trustee Stout.
All right, moving on to ratifications, we have none tonight. Reports for the committee of the whole. Any of the trustees have anything to report? Hearing none. The mayor's report, appointments for the delegates for the IAPD. That's the Illinois Area Park Districts. We stay involved just so we keep up to date on what's going on with the parks. Myself and I believe Rich Hill is going to be our second for a fill, so he can do it during staff hours if need be. Any questions or comments? Can I have a motion and a second, please? So moved by Trustee Valdez, second by Trustee Davis, and all in favor? No, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Davis. Aye. Trustee Cleveland.
Aye.
Trustee Ibarra. Aye. Trustee Stout.
Aye.
Trustee Valdez.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion will carry. Clerk's report, is there a clerk's report tonight?
No, there's not.
All right. Item D then, we'll start the public hearing. I call the public hearing to order to consider a commercial waste hauling franchising for Round Lake Beach. Director Hiltz.
Thank you, Mayor and the Board. This is
I need to get a motion to
something
go into it.
something
You know what,
we,
if we could, I'm sorry. I need to get a motion and a second to go into the public hearing. So moved by Trustee Cleveland,
Second.
second by Trustee Stout. All in favor? Ayes have it, will be in public hearing.
Thank you again. This item has been discussed over this last couple committee meetings. We actually started this process a few years ago. It's an 8-step process. We're in step 5, where it's a public hearing before we issue a RFP for the commercial waste hauling. I have Walter Willis from SWACO to answer any questions from the public or the board before we proceed with closing the hearing, and then we can issue a RFP within 30 days of this hearing. Correct.
Thank you, yeah.
Walter Willis, good evening, Mayor and trustees and staff. We have to allow 30 days for them to respond. I think
Yes.
we have to issue it within 120 days. So we got plenty of time. It's just a really cumbersome process, Mayor, that we have to go through. And it's a long journey, but like Scott said, we're in step 5 of 8. So this is really about back in the day when the waste industry was really fighting these. This was their opportunity to come to your meetings and let you hear it.
Yeah.
And we have one gentleman here from Lake Shore, but he's just here to listen.
Okay.
I believe I won't speak for Steve, but yeah.
Perfect.
So if no comments, you can go ahead and close it, and we'll keep moving.
That's it.
Any questions or comments on this? We will have time.
You'll have the ability at a committee meeting to review the RFP before it goes out, and then after it comes in, of course, the results will be opened, and then you'll have the opportunity to vet any of the waste haulers that have responded, and to decide if this works for your commercial businesses.
All right.
I'm sorry, and the key, Mayor and trustees, is at the cow, if you tell us you'd like to wait another month before we issue it, we can do that. We do have, as Walter said, we have 120 days to issue it from now. We can't do it for at least 30.
Yeah. I just know that there were some stats, there was some information that went over with a few years back that I would like to have everyone on the board be able to take a look at. I know that some of it was letters that were sent out and everything else. I just like to have them all be able to take a look at that information, because not all of them were here. So, all right. Do I need a motion then, Scott? To move this on? Okay. Motion to move to close the public hearing. So moved by trustee Avera,
Second.
second by trustee Cleveland. Close motion. Motions have been made. Motion carries for, actually, we need an all in favor as well.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion will carry. And we'll move this on to our next committee of the whole as well. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Business item A, we are going to skip it and postpone it till next month, or until the business reach out to us. Business item B, an ordinance amending Title I, Chapter 7 and 12 of the Village Code regarding purchasing and expenditures, and adopting the revised purchasing policies and procedures manual. This shows Gil, but is this Scott or Mark?
This actually, Susan and I, and
Okay.
Scott Puma can answer any questions too. He's right there at the mic.
Yeah.
It basically changes the authority of the administrator and/or the mayor from 10,000 to 20,000, and it changes the department heads from 1,000 to 5,000. And that's just recognition of, it's been almost 15 years since you've adjusted that, and department heads come to me with anything anyway. They'll probably still have me sign off on 1,000 to 5,000, but it just gives us some leeway to react to price points that occur and not wait 30 days to come before the board.
And this is all budgeted money. so
All
it's
budget,
not-
that's the
yeah.
key takeaway, is if it's not a budgeted item or one that we're gonna put in next year's budget, we wouldn't be executing it.
Great. All right, anyone have any questions or comments on this? If not, can I have a motion and a second, please? So moved by trustee Valdez. Second by trustee Davis. And a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Davis? Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Ibarra? Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
All right, the ayes have that, motion will carry. Business item C, an ordinance approving the Second Amendment to Facility Usage Agreement between the Village of Round Lake Beach and the Heritage Church. Director Rooney?
Yes, Mayor, this recognizes the long-standing relationship with the Heritage Church. They've gone from, the question asked, they still want to stay. They are not on a glide path to get a building fund together and build their own standalone facility if they can stay in our facility in the terms that we've negotiated that are mutually agreeable. And I think there's good synergy with the church group now with what is going on in the facility. And things are working out wonderful and no conflict with them using the basement offices and having access to the building. We have it, it's recorded, so there's no worries that we have with them as a tenant in the facility, and they're very agreeable. If we have some bigger event going on, they step back. So, and the add is that they get up to 3 additional days, Christmas Eve, Good Friday, and 1 fall bash that they negotiate with us that's not in conflict with another use of the facility. And if there is, they have the, as you see in one of the provisions, we give them notice that we have a competing interest and they have to match it or within 65% of the other rental for one of those dates.
Right.
We can't imagine we're going to have a lot of competition for different events to occur on Christmas Eve or Good Friday. So
Right.
they already work with us on Fall Bash.
All right. Any questions or concerns? Hearing none. Motion and a second, please. So moved by trustee Cleveland.
Okay.
Second by trustee Stout. And a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Ibarra?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Davis?
All right, the ayes have that, the motion will carry. Business item D, a resolution approving an agreement with the University of Illinois for laboratory testing services. Chief Wiley, quick,
Thank you, Mayor and Board. We discussed this at the Committee of the Whole. This is to supplement our use with the Illinois State Police Crime Lab. We'll be using this only for high-profile cases and fatal car crashes where we need some of those results back immediately. So it's basically as you are charged as an à la carte type of service. The fee schedule was attached for your review at the COW meeting. So again, this will not replace our current use of the State Police Crime Lab for most of our cases, just for some of those high-profile cases.
all right, thank you. Any questions or comments on business item D? Hearing none, can I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
So moved by trustee Valdez. Second by trustee Ibarra. And a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Ibarra?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez? Trustee Davis? Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Ayes have that as well. Can I have on to business item E, a roll call vote for a resolution approving a professional license with E-Lineup. Chief Wiley.
Thank you again, Mayor. This was also discussed as the Committee of the Whole. Last month, our basic license fee expired with E-Lineup, and back in 2015, we paid $375 just for the basic license. We have not been charged anything since then. E-Lineup is now going to basically no longer offer that basic license, so the next step up would be the professional license, which is a $600 a year subscription. However, it will include additional features and actual tech support, which we didn't have since 2015. This was designed by the Illinois Prosecutors Bar Association and is also approved by the U.S. Department of Justice for their line of procedures.
All right, we did discuss this at the committee of the whole as well. Can I have a motion and a second if there's no questions? So moved by trustee Cleveland. Second by, trustee Davis, I'm sorry, thank you. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Davis? Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Ibarra?
All right, the ayes have that, motion will carry. A resolution approving a memorandum of understanding with Flock Group Incorporated regarding certain recordings. Chief Wildy.
Thank you, Mayor. We also discussed this at the Committee of the Whole. This is just a memorandum of understanding with Flock Safety Company in Georgia. They are the primary suppliers of license plate reader cameras throughout the country. While we will not be getting cameras at this time, this understanding will allow our officers to be able to access their dashboard for information for any type of investigative purposes. And it's important to note that their data is only stored for 30 days and then deleted. So there's obviously time-sensitive things that we will be looking for in those investigations. But for now, we'll just be researching and accessing their data only.
All right. If I could then, and if any questions at all? I just wanted to make a note, there could be an update coming on this. I know we discussed it at the committee of the whole. But the cameras, the price range we had thought was $5,000 a piece. It's actually 2,500.
I believe so. We'll
Double check.
contact them again. We did a Zoom meeting with them about a month and a half ago, so we will confirm that. But I know that the amount of cameras for the minimum purchase goes by population. So I believe for our population size, it's 5 camera minimum for a town of our size.
All right. Thank you. I just wanted to bring that up because I'd heard that earlier. So if I could, then a motion and a second approving the memorandum of understanding with Flock Group Incorporated regarding the recordings only at this time. So moved by trustee Stout.
Second.
Second by trustee Cleveland. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Davis? Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Ibarra? Trustee Stout?
Aye.
The ayes have that. Motion will carry. Business item G, a resolution declaring certain vehicles surplus and authorizing their disposition. Chief Wildy again.
Thank you, Mayor. We have 2 Ford Explorers that we currently own, and one of them is a 2015 Explorer that served in the patrol unit and then was also used by our Mobile Eye Emergency Management Association. That vehicle is no longer needed by them, and we have negotiated with College Lake County to donate that vehicle to their criminal justice program. The other vehicle is a 2017 Ford Explorer that was also served in the patrol fleet. That vehicle has since been replaced last month, so they have pretty much used or outlived their useful life for our fleet, and we no longer need them, and we just like them declared surplus so we can remove them from the fleet.
And the one declaring a surplus and donating it, that's tax purposes, a write-off as well, but the other one will be returning that money.
The 2017 will be sold by Enterprise on our behalf, and any funds for that will go back into the vehicle purchase program.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions? Hearing no questions, can I have a motion and a second, please? So moved by trustee Valdez, second by trustee Cleveland, and
Davis.
I'm sorry, trustee Davis. I read the wrong one and checked it off. Sorry. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Davis? Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Ibarra? Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
All right, the ayes have that, motion will carry. Business item H, a resolution approving the purchase of rock salt pursuant to the Lake County Division of Transportation joint bid. Director Hiltz.
Yes, thanks, Mayor. This item is an item we have a joint bid with Lake County DOT every year, and we also have one with the state. Lake County's bid came in earlier this year. So we do secure about 50% of our rock salt needs through Lake County. This is 1,300 tons entering the winter season. So it's to Morton Salt and for 1,300 tons, and it's 96. I believe, maybe there's a correction here. Yeah, 103,402, because the price was $79.54 per ton.
All right. So a resolution approving the purchase of rock salt pursuant to the Lake County Division of Transportation joint bid of $103,402 for the rock salt for our winter months. Can I have a motion and a second, please? So moved by trustee Ibarra,
Second.
second by trustee Cleveland, and a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Ibarra? Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Davis?
All right, the ayes have that as well. Moving on to business item I, a resolution approving an agreement with Brightview Landscapes LLC for the landscape management services. Director Hiltz.
Thank you again, Mayor and Board. This item, Brightview has managed our municipal campus, civic center, village hall, police department, and all our parks for the last several years. We did sign a one-year extension last year. This year, they offered another extension for 5% increase. The lowest CPI over the last year was 6.8, and we're currently over 8. So this seems to be a favorable increase to keep the same continuity with our landscape services entering the budget.
All right, any questions or comments from the board? No, we discussed this in committee of the whole, so can I have a motion and a second? So moved by trustee Davis. Second by trustee Stout. A roll call vote, please.
Trustee Ibarra?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Davis? Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
All right, the ayes have that, motion will carry. Business item J, a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding with Lake County Stormwater Management Commission for the Village Around Lake Drain Master Plan Project. Scott, Director Hiltz.
Yes, so this item was discussed at committee meeting. Lake County Stormwater Management received, I think, $35 million for this phase, 2.7 for a project that primarily runs through the village. And it's targeting the Round Lake Drain, sort of the west side of the Round Lake Drain. It's a $2.7 million project. Our share would typically be around 10-20%, but they do add an environmental justice multiplier, so we're down to like 2.65%. So our obligation is only $72,847 for the village to enter a MOU, and then I believe this resolution gives the authority to do an IGA once the grant is finalized. Is that correct?
I believe that's the way we place it, right? Yes. All right. I do know this is something it's highly beneficial to the village to help take care of some flooding issues that we've had over the years in that area. The fact that we were able to get the grant through Lake County, with Lake County, to do this is a huge savings to our taxpayers. So if we could, any questions or comments on this? Motion and a second, please. So moved. So moved by trustee Cleveland. Second by trustee Ibarra. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez? Trustee Davis? Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Ibarra?
All right. All ayes have it. Motion carries. Item K, a resolution authorizing and waiving competitive bids and approving the purchase of water meters from Midwest Meters Incorporated. Director Hiltz?
Thank you again, Mayor and Board. So this item was discussed at the committee meeting. What was discussed was our long-term vision of water replacement, which staff is still vetting our different options. However, we do have broken meters and we have an older meter system within the village, so we do have to replace the meters that are out there currently. So this is a budgeted item to replace the meters that are immediate need of replacement at this point.
And it's not a decision on whether we go radio frequency or
We're still vetting
Cell
that
phone.
option.
Yeah. All right, so this is a resolution authorizing the waiving the competitive bids and approving the purchase of water meters from Midwest Meters Incorporated for the ones that we need to replace at this point.
That is correct.
So if I could, if there's no questions or comments? Hearing none, a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
So moved by trustee Stout. Second by trustee Davis, and a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Davis? Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Ibarra? Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Motion carries, all ayes, and if we are done with our regular session at this moment, we will be coming back from executive session here for probable pending litigation, land acquisition, sale of land, executive session minutes, personnel and collective bargaining, to actually have the closing. But we are at the point where we are open to public participation. If anyone in the public has any questions or comments for the board, please step up to the podium, state your name, and let us know if we can answer any questions for you. Hi, Arlene.
I live at 94 West Honeysuckle Drive, and I was here this morning. Oh. I was,
Excuse me, Elaine Fisher, 96 Honeysuckle.
I didn't know she was going to step up here. But I was here this morning to see you, and I waited for over an hour. And then I was told.
Sorry, I was out of the office until about 1 PM today.
Well, I was here earlier, and then they told me you had to go to work. So
Tuesdays,
I'm just telling you
Sorry
what
about-
I was
sorry
told
about that.
today.
yeah.
Maybe they have your schedule mixed up, but that's
Yeah.
what I was told. And I said, I told her one of the problems that, I came for, and she took my name and number, and it was about the rocks that are all in the street. That's in that little, when you come down Honeysuckle and Nicole,
Yes.
they did a patch there, and they did one like right across from my house.
Okay.
Okay, so when I came home last night, that was it for me. Because when I came down Nicole, I just looked like someone just dumped a whole bunch of rocks in front of my driveway. And I was done with that because they were there 2 weeks ago to make the mess. People drive over the rocks, and rocks are about this big. Okay? So when you drive over a rock like this can dent your car. The rocks are flying, they're in my grass, they're in my driveway, and they're also as close as my garage door. So I did get a call today, one from your office and one from, I'm not sure what.
That would be me.
Probably Director Hiltz.
I called
Oh,
you.
yeah, that's Scott.
Yes.
So you remember. Okay, so I was told that it will be taken care of
It should be tomorrow. I mean, they had it scheduled for this week.
tomorrow. Okay, so if it's not, I'll be back on Wednesday.
You can call, and I do apologize that you didn't get the right answer about when I would be in the office today. I did get called away to review some stuff elsewhere. But anytime you want, you can always call. I'll get
Okay.
you.
But there was two other issues.
Yes.
'Cause I'm looking at Scott and Scott.
Yeah.
there, so I'm like, okay, so the other one, we have, how many Scotts do we have? Oh, 3.
3.
Oh, my gosh. And your last name? No, that's
Stout.
Stout. Okay. Like the beer, a stout. Okay. My other issue is, this is something that you inherited, and I know some of the people were here when I spoke about this several years ago, is this garbage can and recycling cans that people leave out like it's a trophy in front of their homes. I mean, we look like a trashy subdivision. And that's something that people are supposed to bring in. I've always had mine in, I know Elaine has, from day one, because that's what we were told. They're not supposed to be outside.
Then, my understanding, and I'll
Mayor,
have.
if I can,
Yes,
Mayor?
go ahead.
So I am not a Scott,
Okay,
but that's my department. So what I'll do is I'll speak with the inspectors tomorrow and let them know, so we'll kind of review what the schedule is for waste management collection. And you are correct, they are supposed to bring them back in after, now, we don't make them bring it in to 5 minutes after a truck just passed by.
Oh, no,
But usually
but-
by the end of business, before they go to sleep that night, they should probably be in. So if they're still out the next day after that, I think that would probably be excessive, so I'll speak with the inspectors.
most people have never brought theirs inside.
Oh,
Actually.
That's what
I
I'm
I was
talking
just
about.
getting to clarify that now. I believe the ordinance states that they have to be behind your garage.
well, there's
or
two,
the front
there's
of
two
your home.
issues. There's two issues. One is putting them out for garbage and then bringing that back in. The second issue is their visibility from the road.
Yeah.
So we'll have them look at both those issues.
And, you know, saying that I don't have room in my garage is not an excuse, because
Well-
I have 2 vehicles, I have 3, what do you call them? Where you put all your junk on, and I have other junk in mine. And I can bring my car out and put it back in,
So they don't necessarily have to be in the garage, but they do have to be behind the building.
but they're not.
Correct. So, or behind a screen of some sort.
Yeah.
Right.
Behind a screen of some sort. So we can start looking at that.
Okay, so,
And not Scott,
okay,
Gil.
Gil, okay, so.
I'll give you a
Gil-
card before you leave.
But the last person we talked to about that was a woman, that was several years ago.
Would have been Lisa.
Okay.
So, yes.
So, I mean, it really looks bad. If you drive around in Country Walk, that's where I live.
Yeah.
You know, and you know. So, yeah, it looks really bad.
Yeah.
And my other comment was about the lack of diversity within hiring, and are you planning to diversify the people that you hire? And also, when we have events in the summer, and we have all these festivals, and I don't see any festivals that represent everyone, there's no inclusion.
And I hope you saw what came this year. I mean, and that was the last festival we had before Oktoberfest, which was the Elote Festival, which is.
Did you know about that?
It's been our largest event we've ever had here at the village, I believe. I haven't been here forever, but it was close to the amount of people here for the 4th of July that were here for the 3-day event. So that's one thing that we've worked on, and all of the music we try to diversify it. So if there is something that you're looking for directly when it comes to the festivals and everything
Yeah,
else,
I can recommend a few.
you can
musical
definitely reach out
acts.
to me. I've got my card here handy, so you'll have my number. I think we've had them at one point or another. We've traded numbers, but you can always reach out direct.
Okay, and I'm looking at the people who are sitting here, and I'm looking at why it's not more diversified.
I guess it would be considered what you consider diverse.
What did you say?
We have members of I said considers what you consider diverse.
Darker-skinned people.
What, I mean, Hispanic,
Look at, you have Hispanic up
Yeah.
here, okay?
Uh-huh.
They're here, but there's other people who are darker than that, of other national races that don't seem to be here.
And if I may say, these
Police department too.
our police department is.
We have one,
is-
right? We have one now, or is he still here?
Are you talking about one African-American officer?
Yes.
Yes, we do have him, and he is still here.
Yeah. So.
That took a long time because I've lived at my house since it was built, and that's over 25 years ago.
Yeah. So I guess,
gee.
it also depends on who applies. People who come here, I mean, you guys have been here, probably twice since I've been on the board in 6 years. I don't know what you had done in the past. But people
Been
who
here
show,
for 6 years?
um,
As mayor?
actually 2
Oh,
years
I was
as
gonna
mayor,
say.
6 years as a trustee.
Okay.
So about 8 years now I've been involved. So people who show up, people who come to the meetings and everything else like that, we're always open. I think Rich and the board that was here before me has always been open to communications. People who apply for jobs are those who, we can't force anyone to. We do recruit at college campuses, the college campuses locally for the police department. We advertise on almost on our web pages, on our also Impact. What's the couple of them?
Indeed.
Yeah, Indeed.com.
GovHR, the Blue
GovHR.
Line.
Yeah. So it's the people who apply that we interview and bring in. There's not been a lot that's come through the police department that have not, and this is any race, that when they test, they're put on a list, and we go through that list. We've extinguished that list at least 3 times since I've been here. So anyone that's applied has had an opportunity for a job, pretty much, unless they just don't qualify for background reasons or whatever it may be. But very
Mayor, if
very
I
few.
can?
Yeah.
So ma'am, I used to be the police chief 4 months ago. I retired and took over another job, but I've been here for 23 years. And I totally understand what you're saying. I would say this much, if I can, Mayor, is that I do help out the village with a lot of community engagement. That was kind of my passion. And right now, I'm kind of working with something with the school district. So if we can talk afterwards, because the topic that you're talking about is something the school district has asked us to help them tackle is underrepresentation of the whole village. So we could talk afterwards. That would be awesome, because I think you could lend some insight and some help that the school district and us helping them that we're looking for. So I think you can help. So I do have my card for you as well for the.
So when you say afterwards, is it after your break?
No, like right.
Nope, he
as soon
said
as
he's
you're
not
done
having a
talking.
meeting if you want, because we're gonna be going into executive session.
I'm
but
not.
He will not be.
Oh, okay.
So I'll give you my card before I leave, so you have my direct number again. But, you guys have always been, you've both been here for a long time in the village. I knew you back when I wasn't even living here. My wife lived across the street
Right.
from you. So, anything we can do, if you guys wanna get involved, we'd love to have you be involved.
I'm involved a lot, so
Yeah.
that's no problem with me
Okay.
being involved.
All right. Well, anything else tonight?
Anything you want?
I just want to say that when you have Hispanic Heritage Month, I would like to see African American History Month, Asian American Month. It's like a slap in the face if you've got a sign out there for one group of people and not for others.
I guess I'm,
Well, that's-
It was
that's-
out in
that's what
front
I
of
wanted
the
to speak
police
to you about.
department. Very cute little, very attractive sign. That
All
was
right.
last fall.
all right, I'm not certain of it. I'm sorry, I apologize. I was trying to think, because we go off of the calendar, usually whatever.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I mean, I
we
don't
will
know.
need to have a talk
I don't
with
know
you.
what we're talking about with as far as a sign up, because I don't know of one.
Okay. And my other comment,
You have out here, I think that's what you're talking about. Is that a
it was
marquee?
sitting right out in front, right off
Yeah,
it.
I don't know.
The school
Is it
district
on
has
that? Oh,
things.
this,
The school district
the
will
school
have-
district does it?
Last fall. And it was
So
right out there.
that might help more
Are they
even
talking
with,
about
I got you.
The school
Okay,
district,
and my other comment is, I don't understand, and I want to, why you would put a hole out there in the street and not put like any type of, like a horse or anything to, I'll try to figure it out. Usually when there's road work, now somebody was out there taking pictures today when a white truck, I
That
don't know if
was-
it was from the city or what.
That was my superintendent, just to look at the repair.
You know, we can hear, I don't know about her, I can hear it. And I just-
Tires going across.
So, you know, just as far as people who come to this community, they might be visiting someone, they don't know. I don't understand. And then I was told, I called too and talked to someone, and they called me back. And I asked them, I said, are you gonna do that in front of my house? Because I want to know. I would say,
So, yeah,
I don't
we,
want it done at all, if this is how it's gonna turn out.
so we typically do the patches within like a couple weeks after, so it settles. And so we do fill it all the way up with stone, and then it settles, and then we go back out there.
Yeah,
They're not in there anymore.
yeah.
Okay, I just wondered.
I have one other comment.
Yeah.
If you're done. About the stop signs. People run these stop signs like you wouldn't believe. And I don't know if you're aware of that and what can be done.
I'll let the chief address that as well.
We have a lot of stop signs in town, and yes, my officers are always out there doing traffic. We were just discussing at the last committee meeting how our traffic stops have gone exponentially up over the last few months, especially with the summertime. The best way to do that is to reach out to my office or send us a direct message on Facebook, because then I can know exactly where the problems are lying with, as far as stop sign violators or speeding, because then we can concentrate the patrol division in that area. Like I said, there's a lot of stop signs in town, and my officers, you know, when they're not patrolling, they'll sit on a stop sign kind of randomly, but if there's a specific area where we're seeing that problem, because I tell you what, I've been here 25 years, and I know my favorite one was Nicole and Sprucewood. That was always my favorite stop sign, so Nicole and Honeysuckle might be another one. So again, as long as you let me know that we're having a little bit of an issue there, we have no problem. We can get patrol up there. We'll start monitoring the issue for over a week. We'll kind of see how it's looking, and a lot of times, once they see us there, then they'll start thinking twice about, you know, making the complete stop like they should. So again, visibility, you know, our part is to deter people from doing it, education purposes, and obviously safety. Because, you know, we have a lot of kids up in that area and stuff, and, you know, it's gonna start snowing, kids are gonna be out with their sleds. So again, we wanna make sure that everybody's safe, and that's our top priority. So just, you know, now that I know that, you don't have to send me a message. I know it. I can directly talk to the patrol commanders tomorrow, and we can get a directed patrol up in that area. So, okay? So if anything else comes up, again, you can always call the police department, and I'll get back to you. Or again, go on Facebook, send us a direct message. I always get those as well. So then that way you can kind of do it privately, and then we can go from there. So, well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
We, this time, will be going into executive session for probable pending litigation, land acquisitions, sale of land, executive session minutes, personnel, and collective bargaining. We will, once we return to chambers, open a session back up and then close if we have no actions. Thank you.
You need a motion.
Can I have a motion to go into executive session, please?
So moved.
Trustee Cleveland, I'm sorry, trustee Stout, trustee Ibarra on a second. All in favor? Roll call vote. Trustee Stout, trustee Ibarra, and then a roll call vote, please. Yes.
We need to call the roll.
We're waiting for you to call the roll, please.
We need to call the roll.
Okay. Trustee Davis?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Cleveland? Aye. Trustee Ibarra? Aye. Trustee Stout?
Aye.
All right, all in favor, we will go into executive session. Thank you.
Thank you.